In our previous discussions, we established the importance of identifying our stakeholders. However, simply having a list of names and groups is not enough. To manage a project effectively, we must move from identification to analysis. After identifying stakeholders, the crucial next step is to analyze them to understand their interests and potential impact on our project. This analysis allows us to determine their responsibilities, level of engagement, and critically, their power and influence. This video will introduce several foundational models that provide a framework for this vital process. Perhaps the most well-known starting point is the Power Interest Grid, developed by Aubrey Mendelow. This strategic tool helps us prioritize stakeholders by mapping them against two key dimensions: their level of power to influence the project and their level of interest in its outcomes. This categorization gives us four clear strategic approaches. The strategy for stakeholders with high power and high interest, such as project sponsors, is to manage them closely. They require active engagement and collaboration. For those with high power but low interest, like certain regulatory bodies, our goal is to keep them satisfied. We must address their concerns without overwhelming them with information. Stakeholders with low power but high interest, such as end-user groups, should be kept informed. Their support can make them valuable advocates for the project. Finally, those with low power and low interest require minimal effort. We monitor them. The Power Interest Grid is an excellent tool, but sometimes we need a more nuanced lens. This brings us to the Stakeholder Salience model, developed by Mitchell, Agel, and Wood. This model introduces three key attributes to determine a stakeholder's salience, or the degree to which they command our attention. These attributes are power, the ability to impose their will on the project; legitimacy, the perceived validity or appropriateness of their claim on the project; urgency, the degree to which their claims demand immediate attention, often driven by time sensitivity. A stakeholder with all three attributes, power, legitimacy, and urgency, is termed a definitive stakeholder and becomes the highest priority. This model helps us navigate complex situations where a stakeholder might have an urgent and legitimate claim but little power, or vice versa. These models are excellent for categorizing individual stakeholders or groups, but they don't always show the whole picture, stakeholder relationships. For this, we can turn to social network analysis, or SNA. SNA is a framework used to study the interactions and relationships among individuals and groups within a network. By visualizing these networks, we can uncover the hidden flows of information, power, and influence that truly impact project success. We can identify the central connectors where communication bottlenecks might exist and how influence spreads, often outside the formal organizational chart. So, to summarize, we have explored three powerful ways to analyze stakeholders: prioritizing them with the Power Interest Grid, understanding their prominence with the Salience model, and mapping their influence with social network analysis. These are not merely academic exercises. They are practical tools that enable us to develop tailored, effective engagement strategies. In our main session, we will delve deeper into the application of these models and introduce further tools, such as the RACI matrix and the Engagement Assessment Matrix, to build your complete stakeholder analysis toolkit.